There we go. That's a better. All right, let's try this again. I think that comment section is what I didn't see earlier. So good evening. This is our chat with the chief for December, our evening session. We had a little bit of struggle getting on there, but we actually got on we did about 4 minutes. So we'll just, you know what we're going to do? We're just going to redo it again. So good evening, everyone. Like I said, this is our evening session. We had a group session earlier today, this afternoon. Man, it was really great. We had a lot of good conversation, a lot of good back and forth, a lot of good comments. I hope there was some good content. My first request is going to ask anyone who's logged in to let us know if we're coming across visually okay, and if you can hear us audially okay. I just want to make sure that we're good sound and good visual that's working well. I appreciate again the conversation we had this afternoon and where we were at. We have some strong topics. I'm going to give you a list of some things we're going to talk about. I cannot believe that we're already at the end of December, right? Christmas is like right around the corner. Then we get into New Year's and start our new year of 2026. So I'm excited. I appreciate the work that officers are doing and our community. It's just really coming together. We've had a great year, and I look for a strong finish. What I'd like to talk about tonight, Joy, thank you. I appreciate that. It means a lot. I appreciate it. It sounded good. It was good to have you back. A couple of things we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about holiday events that occurred over the weekend. It was an all-day recruiting event. I want to touch base on that. I was really excited to see a number of officers that came out, or applicants, I should say, that came out to join this department and go through some of the testing. We'll talk 2 weeks ago. We had a tree lighting event, timber. Right. Oh, I already gave it away. I was going to use that as a good question tonight. But we had the tree lighting event in City Center, and then we transitioned into a concert there. I thought we had a great turnout, an event that went really well. And Chief, how do you know when an event goes well? For me, everybody goes home safe, right? People have a good time and they go home safe. Then we had, I want to touch base on a homicide arrest that was made early yesterday morning. Great work by detectives, fugitives, and U.S. Marshals. We'll touch base about that. We'll talk a little bit about the vape shops, some of the things that we've been getting a lot of calls today and yesterday. The mayor did a nice spot last night, and he kind of laid it out. I think it was pretty straightforward, right? So we'll talk about that as well. I want to talk about our crime data. We want to focus on, give updates where our city is on crime, but I'm really going to focus a lot on violent crime and even narrow it down further in focusing on non-fatal shootings and on our homicide rate, where we're at this year compared to last year, and how we're doing on arrests and closure rates, if you will. I'll pause there before I go down the rest of the list that I want to talk about, and I will say right now that when we look at data points, and I'm really looking at how are we doing statistically, but I know every one of those data points, especially when you talk about shootings and primarily when we talk about homicides, that those are individuals. Those are family members. Those are people in our community, our neighborhood, and they're not just a number. That is a person. And no one, it doesn't matter to me when we investigate homicide cases in our city. It doesn't matter about your race, your gender. It doesn't matter what your beliefs are, your zip code. It doesn't matter what's in your bank account. It is our goal to solve every single homicide that we have. That's why we've increased the number of our detectives in our unit. That's why we created an aggravated assault unit to take some of the burden off. That's why we have a cold case unit now that we've had, and we'll share a little bit of the number of cases we've solved this year that happened in previous years. I think that's important. So I don't want anyone to think, oh, it's not a data point. There's probably no one that looks at that more seriously than I do. Those are individuals. Those are family members, and I know it is especially hard this time of year in the holiday season. But I will share a little bit about our environmental officer program, where that's going to be, and I'll touch base on one of my favorite things that we have in our department is a relationship with our young people in this city. I think we have some of the most talented people in Newport News, and so we'll talk a little bit about our Young Adult Police Commissioner program and the Christmas party that we have set aside for tomorrow. So Joy, again, thank you for being here. Richard asked, how can you get to do a ride-along? So we have a application. You can call in, do it online, fill it out, and you'll get a call back from the assistant Chief Hires, who's over our patrol operations side of the house. We do a quick check and then work with you. You know, what day, what shift, day, evening, midnight. The shifts are 10 hours. You can ride the whole shift or a portion. But I will tell you, it's really eye-opening to spend some time in that car. You hear the radio traffic. You're seeing the calls come up on the computer screen. You're hearing dispatch. You're going to different calls and really seeing what it's like to be a police officer in the city of Newport News. So, Richard, if that's something you want to do, man, if you want to, I'm not real tech savvy, Richard, so you might have to help me, or Kelly, give me the right verbiage. But if you drop a message or direct message us and put a phone number, I can have a call go out to you tomorrow. And if it's something you want to do, we can kind of talk you through it online and get you set up. I think, any officer who wants to be an officer in Newport News, one of the steps we do require you to complete a ride-along to see if this is really something you want to do. And sometimes in about 3 or 4 hours, you can tell, right, hey, this is for me, or this isn't what I saw on TV. We're not doing it in 45 minutes and with commercials. So I really, really encourage it. I think it's been a big benefit for us. And you get to talk to officers directly who are doing this job day in and day out. So I will say, Crystal, thanks for being here. I appreciate that. Donna, thanks for being back. Hello from the Chesapeake. Donna, man, it's good to have you back. I'm going to talk about the Chesapeake. I had a great holiday party in time there. I really, really appreciate that. I'm scrolling through some numbers here. I'm here with Kelly King tonight. She's going to keep me out of trouble so I don't touch anything, knock anything over, turn anything off. So as the texts and posts come through, man, I'm going to read each one. If I skip one, you may hear me ask Kelly to, hey, can you scroll back up or scroll back down? I want to make sure I hit all these. But I'm just excited and enjoy these sessions a lot. And we've been doing them now, what, Kelly, 4 or 5 years?
Yeah.
I just think it's a way to just stay in contact with our community and our citizens and have good discussions. It doesn't take the place of being in person, but I know with the hustle and bustle and things going on and moving things around with kids and just life moves at such a fast pace, it's an opportunity to have some interaction from your home or wherever, and maybe to watch the session later on, and hopefully we hit some of the points or talk a little bit about what you all may be interested in. So, Richard, we got you, Rob. No better team of crime. Well, Councilman Coleman and Boys and Girls Club and Police Foundation. All the different hats you wear. I appreciate that. Rob, we talked a little bit. So, Rob Coleman is one of our city council members. He chairs the Public Safety Committee. He and Ms. Vick. We had a session this afternoon as well. We really talked about some individuals had some conversations about the vape shops, and I just talked about the mayor's interview last night, and we addressed that if businesses are doing the right thing and there's no criminal activity there, then there's nothing to worry about. But some of the locations that we had interaction with, some search warrants that were conducted, were a result of activities that were not legal, that did cause danger, right? When we're firearms and 70 plus pounds of marijuana, psilocybin, the mushrooms that were being housed and sold, one thing going on in the front room and maybe other things going on in the back room, that causes great concern. THC levels and those type things. So it wasn't something we looked at lightly. We'd spend a lot of time. We talked to partnered with our federal partners, with our friends with the state police, the fire department, code enforcement as well. And we want our kids to be safe, our citizens to be safe. So those we talked a lot about the criminal activity going on. We cited the state code, and I think we did that in that press release, Kelly, that we sent out. That if you abide by that, what the state's laid out, we're in good standing. And those things may change. I get that, but right now, selling marijuana is illegal, and other drugs and items that were found in those locations were as well. I think all of us just want our community to be safe, and especially our youth. Those things find their way into hands, and things happen. So, Rob. So we just talked about that, and I appreciate your support, your questions about some of those entities that we had gotten complaints on. And like I said, it wasn't something just on a whim. There had been good investigation, good partnerships, and those investigations are ongoing. I just want to be very open and transparent about that. nothing wrong if you're doing the right thing legally. But when you cross that line, then it is going to raise. And when citizens call in and complain, there's a reason for that. There's a reason for that. So, Robert, on a side note, I just want to tell you I appreciate the support, the interaction. Like I said, the Public Safety Committee, what you do with youth and the Boys and Girls Club in our city, and I just really appreciate the interest you take in public safety, your background, and guidance and friendship that we have. It means a lot, and I appreciate that. Crystal, thanks for being here. Is it Yasmin? My friend was picked up by my friend was picked up by immigration today in Newport News. Would his car have been impounded? So Yasmin, first of all, let me forgive me. I'm not familiar. The Newport News Police Department would not do that. We have some open lines of communication. Myself and the mayor talked a lot as we saw the direction things were going. I reached out with immigration, and they were very appreciative of that. So we sat down and had a conversation about things that I was asking for and things that we would be partaking in, right? And one was, my request was to ask, please notify us when you're in the city, and that we don't want to see anyone get hurt. Any federal agents, any of our community, citizens, no, we don't want to see anyone get hurt. But we would not be taking part in those that type of enforcement, right? We would be in the area if something, God forbid, were to go wrong. We don't want, like I said, we want to keep our community safe, but we would not take part in that. So your question about would his car, how'd she say it? Would his car have been impounded? The Newport News Police Department would not impound the car. Now, if he was if it was here in Newport News, if you're comfortable with direct messaging us and give us a name, I will have a phone call made and find out where that vehicle is. It could have been something if it was left in a parking lot or in the middle of the road or where it was at. It might have been towed to a garage, but it wouldn't be seized for investigation by the police department. But I will be glad to take a look at that. And I didn't recall any phone calls this morning, so I just wanted to make sure that we got. Sometimes we get some information that it's actually in this jurisdiction, or it happened on the interstate, or it happened in a nearby jurisdiction, or it was in our jurisdiction. So yeah, I'll be glad to look into that, but we would not have towed that in conjunction with anything from immigration. Is Jonathan? Jonathan, hey Chief, Jonathan, I'm glad to see you here. Thanks for being here, my friend. Wanda Pro, good evening, Chief. You look amazing. Happy holidays. Continue in greatness. I pray for you daily. I will tell you, Wanda, I appreciate that. I'll take every one. I am a man of faith. I think prayer goes a long way. I can't tell you the number of emails and messages we get from individuals talking about we're praying for the department. We're praying for your community. We're praying for the city. We're praying for our elected officials. We're praying for our city government. We're praying for the protection of officers and protection of citizens. So I really, really appreciate that. I think that goes a long way, and it means a lot. So I just want to say thank you. I hope you're having a great holiday season. Hope your family's well. And thank you for checking in on us and on me. It means a lot, and I appreciate that. Love, it's good to have you here. Good evening, all. I appreciate you being here with us this evening. Are we getting the flock camera system for Newport News? KC, so we already have the flock camera system here in our city. I will tell you that when we decided to go that route, we've had it for quite a while. When we decided to go that route, we were very open with our community. We showed the system to our elected officials, to city management. We have very, very strict guidelines of how we use that camera system. It is for primarily responding to criminal acts that occur. In law enforcement, oftentimes, say some incident occurs, and citizens will say, well, I saw a blue truck or a red truck or a white Jeep, and I saw one or two license plate numbers, but I couldn't. So what that system allows us to do is to put that descriptor in that time frame at that area where the crime occurred, and a partial plate, and it will let us know if that type of vehicle and that license plate hit any other locations where we have a flock camera. It does not tell us who committed the crime. It does not prosecute the crime. It's a piece of a bigger puzzle, right? So if there was a hit and run and God forbid someone was hit and struck a pedestrian, a vehicle is picked up in our flock system, we're able to go to that location or address, knock on a door, and have a conversation. And when anyone logs into that system, we track that and measure it. Who logged in? What time did they log in? What was it logged in for? All that is captured, and then it's only held for a certain amount of time frame. And then we do random audits of that as well on a regular basis to make sure that no one's violating our department policy and procedure. We've had the Crime Commission from our state delegates come down and look at that. We've shared that with them, been very, very open, because it is a great tool for safety and protection of our citizens. It is not about anything with Big Brother and looking at, well, who's seeing who's dating who, what cars go through this. It's nothing like that at all. I want to be very, very transparent. Our community has been very, very responsive to that, and I will tell you that system did play a role in some of the homicide arrests that we've made. It doesn't tell us who committed the crime, but it gives us an avenue of investigation, if that makes sense. So yes, we do, and we do have that partnership. Joy, I didn't know, but I am sorry. My friend was picked up by, okay. Hakeem, good evening, Chief. How are you doing, sir? Hakeem, my friend, so far so good, my friend. It's great to have you. Hope you're having a good holiday season. Thanks for being here tonight. I appreciate that. Appreciate everything that you do, and just the time you're spending with us. So it's good to hear from you, sir. So far, I'm doing well. I have no complaints. It's been a long day today, but it's been a good day. And some of the things I'm going to go through and share with the group this evening are good stuff. So I appreciate that. Debbie, good evening, Chief Drew. Debbie, good. Well, first of all, good evening to you. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to you. Hope you're staying warm. It's getting a little chilly out there, but man, I think it's supposed to be like 55 or 60 degrees on Sunday. That's a big change from what we had last Sunday when we celebrated the first night of Hanukkah and we're lighting the menorah in the city center. It was bone chilling cold, but I hope you're doing well, and it's good to hear from you. Yasmin, please, send me a direct message and we'll make a phone call and see what I can find out for you this evening and call some of our connections of what we have. So, I don't know the particulars, but if you know time, date, maybe location, we'll see what we can find out. But certainly a name will be very helpful. If you know the license plate of the vehicle, that will really be great. Type of car it is, any that stuff. But I can. That's what I'll be asking you when I shoot you a call. Samaya, how are you, my friend? It's good. Hey, look, I hope you're going to be at the Christmas party tomorrow. I am excited to see you and the rest of the group. I hope your family's doing well. Wishing you and your family a very, very Merry Christmas. Hopefully get aside and you and I talk a little bit and catch up. Let me follow. I love the way Newport News operates when it comes to homicides. You're quick to finding. Seems like Hampton is not on the same time y'all are. Well, I will tell you, Samaya. I'm never going to compare us to another organization. There's a lot of things that are put out that don't know in all the details. So I think you have to be very, very careful. Like there's some things in social media that I think some individuals had said some things about the Newport News Police Department, and that particular incident didn't even happen in our city. So I would just, when we look at that, there's sometimes things that are put out, and there's some things I wish I could put out more that I know we're at in an investigation. Like, Chief, why didn't you tell us more about maybe what happened in this situation? Well, I know that there are people in the field doing some works and some other things coming along that I can't put that out, that it's going to fall on the next day. So, I'm not going to compare us to any other organization. I am very, very thankful. Samaya, you're you know a lot of the officers that work here. You've been exposed to a lot. You've been with us for a long time. I think we have a phenomenal detective division. I think we invest a lot in technology, the cases that we have. But there's a lot of detail, and I will tell you, sometimes we think we have something that this is what happened, and then we start doing interviews, it turns completely to something else. While I'm there, Samaya, while I got you and the audience here, I will share with you that yesterday morning we put out a press release. We did make an arrest in a homicide we had of a 15-year-old young man. I was at that scene. He was struck by gunfire. He was taken to an area hospital where later he succumbed to his injuries, and it was just heartbreaking. I'm not, someone say, oh, this time of year, any time of year, right? It's just heartbreaking. Detectives with technology and citizen input were able to develop a possible suspect. Like I said, they didn't make an arrest right away. We worked that case. And then there were some things areas that we were looking for and watching for. And yesterday morning, there was an arrest made. And we did put that press release out, Kelly, and talked about what the charges were: the detectives, the community, technology, citizens just did an amazing job, officers. But I remember being in the scene. It was raining that night. Got a phone call. I talked with the mayor that night and the city management that night into the morning. Partnered with our Commonwealth Attorney's Office, and I know it. I wish from the bottom of my heart we could turn the clock back and prevent something like that from happening. And I know an arrest doesn't bring anyone back. My hope is it provides some small piece of closure, but every loss of life, man, it impacts people. It impacts friendships and families and neighborhoods and areas. It in fact impacts officers and detectives who work that case. It impacts mothers and fathers, brothers and sisters and friends. So yeah, that's hard. And so I'm really, I'm glad you're here. I really look forward to seeing you tomorrow and having some conversations, checking on you. But we really got to let things kind of play out in some situations, and just remembering that every bit of information isn't released right away, because there could be other things that are coming down the line. Scroll back up for me, Kelly, just a minute.
And Jeanette.
Got and Jeanette about hey Chief, how are you, ma'am? I hope you're doing well. Thanks for being with us tonight. Or I guess this evening, right? Debbie, I'm freezing. Thanks for asking. Prayers for you and your officers. Debbie, I'll take each one. Thank you. Look, I know it's cold. We're going to talk about some events. There were a lot of holiday events this weekend. I want to get through some of the comments here, and then I'm going to roll down some things. But yeah, I know it's cold out there. There's no doubt. I see people outside. I will say this is my favorite time of year. But the weather can change quick. It can drop. Newport News Police Foundation, thank you for being here, man. You guys did a great job. You have for us all year. We had, they take donations for money into the department. They have a line item. I just met with Megan as we went through the budget and submitted it back to the foundation for a vote. And I will tell you, heavily, Samaya would know, heavily focused on our interaction with community and especially our youth. Samaya, my friend, professionally and personally, is one of our young adult police commissioners. That's a freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior from each high school in our city. 6 high schools. We should be working with 24 students. For the 6th year in a row, Judge Flythe swore them in just about a month ago. And we have 50 high school students that we work with. We're going to have a Christmas party tomorrow. At the end of this year and the first of next year, we'll take a group. They'll go down and have a conversation, introduce themselves to the mayor and city council. I know the mayor has a strong passion for youth in our city. So I look forward to that. But Samaya's been with us for a while, and we talk about, we ask young people, and again, I think we have some of the most talented people in our community right here in Newport News, in our state, I should say, if not across the country. And I'm not talking just in athletics. I'm talking about academics. I'm talking about heart, people that care about other people. I learn as much from those young people as they do from us. But we do things like work at the food bank. We do community walks. We have debates. We work on how to do interviews. We do vision boards. I want to hear about what they want out of life and what they would like to see change, what they hope does better. So Samaya and I have had some really, really deep, good conversations, and she just has a heart. Her schedule's busier than mine, and she just has a heart for people too. I know she cares about youth in this city, We've gone to see some soccer games together, and yeah, we have a good time. So it's a really great partnership, and we have hard conversations. And I will tell you, there are times that I share more with that group than I do in the media, because they know things that are going on in their communities. They know things that are going on in their schools much better than I do, and they see a lot. It's hard being a young person today. I remember growing up, you got into an argument with somebody, it might be over the next day. Today, stuff in social media, it circles around and pressures and all those things. I think that's hard and challenging. There's a lot of benefits to social media, don't get me wrong, but I always worry about cyberbullying and back and forth things that get escalated out of control. The next thing you know, we have somebody hurt. So, yeah, I seen that. I am so glad that baby boy is justice. Yeah, Smile, you're right. Yeah, it's just horrible. I was glad the work the detectives done. You know some of those detectives yourself. They just did a great job, put in a lot of hours, and I remember they came up to the office yesterday morning, like, Chief, he's in custody. So, now the case has got to go forward. We got to put a good case together for the Commonwealth Attorney, but I hope it provides just a little bit of closure to a family who was hurting. And when it comes out what that was over, it's just pointless. It's just absolutely pointless. I know it's so hard, y'all, as officers, to see. Praying for you. Samaya, I'll take everyone. I know you have a strong faith, and I appreciate that. And I appreciate you being here tonight. And again, I really look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Hope we can catch up a little bit. Latrice, I'm still trying to get justice for my baby, Amari Maxwell. Latrice, yep, absolutely. I think we talked earlier this afternoon. Please don't ever lose hope. Some cases, sometimes, we have an incident that occurs right in front of a camera, right in front of two witnesses. Officers are right around the corner, and the individual confesses right away to what happened. And then other times we have incidents that happen, and we have witnesses who, hey, we saw what happened, we know what happened, but we don't want to come forward and testify. So we have to find another way around that. And then there are some incidents where we don't have any evidence, that we get notified way late in the process. But my heart to you is, please don't give up hope. This year, our department, our city, experienced 17 homicides. Now, we had a decade low last year with 23. This year, we've had 17. Of those 17, 12 are cleared by arrest. That is well above the national average of around 50%. Of those 12, 5 or 6 are domestic related. Most of the shootings in our city are people who know each other or by acquaintances. But I say that to say, of the 12 homicides that were cleared, of the 17 that we've had this year, this calendar year, 6 homicide cases were cleared from years past. And that kind of that cold case unit, that's staying with the case, working it through, detectives that carry their cases with them, sometimes it takes longer. So I agree with you wanting justice, and it will happen. Just please don't. We're not going to give up hope, and I'm asking you for the same. Just please do not give up hope. You never know when a bit of information is going to come through. Someone's going to call a tip line. Someone has a change of heart and are willing to come forward. Some evidence is recovered. The new technology that comes into play. So I know it's hard. Please, please, please don't give up hope, because we're not going to as well. Samaya, thank you. That's awesome. Cornerstone Covenant Church. Justice for my cousin Amari and for a friend Zaire. Please say that name on tonight. I would be glad to. Justice for my cousin Amari and for a friend Zaire. Please say that name on tonight. It's coming from youth. Yeah, no doubt. I will tell you, this past what day was it, Kelly? Was it Wednesday or Thursday of last week? We have a homicide support group, and these are individuals who've lost loved ones, and not just here in Newport News. We have some from Virginia Beach. We have some that have moved here. We had our Christmas party in the lobby of our headquarters is a Christmas tree, and some of the ornaments are of individuals who have lost loved ones, and we just get together. We meet monthly. Dr. Sandra Cherry, our department chaplain, Dr. Cheryl Shavers kind of chair that meeting, but it's homicide detectives and officers and leadership that comes together, and we just talk, right? We have conversations. And that group got together last week we had a great meal. It was catered in. We paid for that, and we just had real conversations. In some cases are cleared, in some cases aren't, and it's amazing to see the love come out in that room. How some family members talk to other families about how to get through holidays, how to get through birthdays. That there's no blueprint. People grieve differently, and again, especially this time of year. But there's no one way to do that, and it's just uplifting each other and it's supporting each other, and that's such a precious group of people to me. It just means a lot. We really had a good time. One individual who had lost his life, his mother comes up every year from North Carolina area, and she came up, spent the night, spent a couple of days, and before she drove back, we sat down and had a conversation, and just sharing with you a couple of the things she asked me was, Chief, just promise, please don't give up. Please try everything that you have at your disposal. Thank you for the detectives staying in touch with me. That case is in the cold case unit now. There's been some progress. We continue to work forward. There is that closure isn't there yet, but it will be. I believe wholeheartedly it will be. And we're not going to quit. We're not going to give up. But I know it is extremely, extremely hard. So yeah, I appreciate you from Cornerstone reaching out, and absolutely. One of a lot of things I can say is that Chief Drew is big on the youth, and he fights for the youth. Smile, I appreciate that. I remember first meeting you and our conversations, interaction. You have a heart for people too, and I've learned a lot from you, my friend. Literally love you, Chief. You taught me so much. I really care for this community, and will continue to fight. Well, I will tell you, as much as you've learned from me, I've learned that much from you as well, and I think that what makes our relationship very special. And I appreciate you, and I appreciate what you do in this community, for this department. I love you too. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. You're very, very special. Am I caught up with everybody? So let me just kind of touch base on one of the things I probably should have done at the beginning. I apologize, but I want to try to hit every comment that comes through. I think that's good to have those conversations. Right now the city has about an 8.7% decrease in violent crime. When I look at that, really the two categories I focus on the most are non-fatal shootings and our homicides. So I talked about those aren't just data points, those are people, right? But I want to look at our strategies, and I want to know if what we're doing is decreasing our homicides, if they're staying flatlined, or they're increasing, and the same with our shootings. So if we're seeing that strategies are working, we're seeing decrease, we want to double down on that. We want to go deeper. If we see that those strategies aren't working, then we got to tweak some things along the way. And we know we may not get results overnight, but we just, hey, what's working? So last year we had a decade low in homicides and probably a 20-year low in shootings. Right now, we are 5 or 6 shootings under where we were last year, and our homicides, 2 years ago we had 40 plus. Last year we had 23. This year we have 17, and of those 17, 12 of those are cleared. Of our shootings, 50% are cleared. Both of those are well above the national average. Now, why is that important? Well, if we're not clearing those cases, then we really start having some trouble with trust and legitimacy. We really have to start looking at how we're investigating things, or we're using our technology the best way. The FBI sets 2 standards. One, they create a national average on homicide clearance rates. It's a little over 50%. But then they also break it down into 3 categories: smaller cities, mid-sized cities, where we fall, and larger cities. That's your That's your Detroit, Chicago, New York. Your mid-sized cities are up to 500,000. We fall in that category. It is our goal, my goal. I would love that we strive to solve every case, but I want to make sure holistically that we are above the national average for cities our size, and we well are in every category, and we're above the national average holistically for all of that combined, and we are in every category. Our friends at VCU talk about if you're solving 25% of your shootings, you're in the top 5% in the country. We're solving almost 50%, and that is because of technology, community relationships, partnerships with the youth, partnerships in our community, the Commonwealth Attorney's Office, the fire department, the school system, police, elected officials, support. All of those things play a role community activists, neighborhood watch organizations, our faith leaders. All of those things play a role. The mayor will be very, very quick to say that reducing crime is not just a police function. It has to be us holistically. So I'm glad to say that, again, the city is down about 8.7, almost 9% in violent crime. We're down in our shootings. We're down in homicides, especially from 2023 to 2024 to 2025. This is kind of what we've seen. In fact, in 2024, we had a 14% decrease in violent crime. And from that, now we're down even almost 9% compared to that 14% decrease we saw last year. And that's tracking really, really well. So just wanted to share that with you on where we're at on the crime side of where we're at. Wait a minute. Ria, Chief Drew, hope you're doing well. Ria, former young adult police commissioner, hope you're doing good. I don't know if you're still in school, if you're out for the Christmas break, but happy holidays to you. Please be safe and hope you're enjoying this time. Smile, how many young people have passed away this year? Smile, one. One individual in our city has lost his life to gun violence. It was a juvenile. And I'm just Newport News. I'm not talking about surrounding jurisdictions, state, across the country, but one in the city of Newport News. That's one too many, and that's the one that we just had the arrest on yesterday morning. I want to share a little bit about this past weekend. Like I said, we're in the holiday season. There were a lot of events going on, and I also want the officers to know in this department how much I appreciate them. Samaya was just talking a little bit ago about all the things that we have going on in our city. So Friday night, we started out with FrostCon at down in Gross. So I got to go there, myself and Chief Hires, got to interact with the officers that were working, a lot of the kids that were coming out, the different vendors that were outside and inside down in Gross. There was a portable roller skate rink put up. Some individuals that threw out a challenge to me. I kind of had to back away because there was no rail to hold on to, right? So it was like, but we left there and went to Aqueduct Apartment Complex. Tommy Garner and his organization, his work business bought Christmas gifts for like 70 or 80 kids. So we had officers there. Councilman Coleman was there. People from the community, and it was just amazing to see these young people, right? They got to meet Santa Claus. They got a bag of gifts. High school kids that helped with wrapping and some of the shopping, and people from his business. And Tommy, we kind of walked over to the side and just had a little bit of conversation. One, he told me his wife plans everything, but Tommy just has a heart for people, and I was thankful that we were invited to come. I've been to that event the last 4 or 5 years. He's been doing it for a long time, and it's just grown and grown and grown. And it's just really, really special to see those kids unwrap those gifts. And some would wait, right? They had that bag like Santa Claus over their shoulder. They were holding on to it. And others were like, nah. They opened it. They started ripping that paper up. And it just bicycles and helmets, gloves, video games. It was just a really great event. And that was Friday. So then Saturday morning, I started my day about 9 o'clock in the morning. We had an all-day recruiting event. So we had about 20 individuals who showed up to police headquarters to go through the physical fitness, the interview, the test to be an officer. And man, it was diverse. It was probably 7 of the 20 were female. It was a diverse group in not only in gender and race. I think we have one of the most diverse departments in the state of Virginia, certainly in the Hampton Roads area. And I was just really, really excited. The recruiters did a good job. I want to thank the officers that came to help out. Captain Spencer and Lieutenant Jessica just did a really good job. Sergeant Millette, Watkins, and Chandler, all the background investigators that were there. I just really, really appreciate. And I tell you what, we hired 3 officers today. And so some of the officers have gone through this process. They sit in front of me. That's the last stage in the process to join the department. And I asked them, why do you we talk about why do you want to be a police officer, but then I want to know, why do you want to be a police officer in Newport News? Why did you choose here? And I kind of get about 3 or 4 that just resonated over and over. One was, Samaya, catch this. We see what you do with the youth, and we see how interactive you are in the community. Two, we see the technology and the training you have. Number three, it is the way we are treated from the moment we apply and meet those background investigators, and all through the process, right? So when you're calling Steve 2 and 3 times a week to make sure he's coming to the tryouts or make sure that he's doing the next phase, you're telling people how much you're interested in them. If you're calling one time and leaving a message and you don't talk to them for another week, another month, time goes on. You've got to stay on people today and let them know that this is the department that wants you to come work for them. And then, of course, the last was when they do ride-alongs and the officers talk to them about the department. That just goes a long way. So 3 individuals were hired today, 1 female, 2 males, and some came from some really challenging backgrounds. And they just, man, all 3 of them are like, we have a heart for people. We have a heart for people. And that's important to me. I was just really, really encouraged. Our academy, we have 17 recruits in the academy that will graduate January 22nd, 23rd. We have another 15 that will graduate in May, and we're starting to seed the class now that will start in February. And my goal is that we're around 23, 24, 25 recruits in that class. So I'm excited. We've got some recruits in field training that are getting ready to finish that out, and the new class will graduate, and we'll start this process all over again. But it was a great event Saturday morning. So from there, Kelly, that was just the beginning of the day. It was a crazy weekend, right? So next, several of us went down to Heritage High School, where Councilman Ely had a Christmas meal. Individuals could take food or come and sit down and have a great meal. So we got to spend some time with him, and you just never know what people are going through. It was appreciative. They had a drum line there and volunteers that were serving. It was just a great event. So we left there. The next was the Hilton Christmas Parade. Sergeant Mizell just did an amazing job. Officers that worked that. Probably should have had a couple more officers. That parade's getting bigger and bigger. But I got to walk that with the other chiefs, Chief Hires, Grinstead, and Creswell. The mayor was there. He had his son, my nephew, right? They're walking in the parade. Councilman Ely, Councilman Coleman. But I'll tell you, Kelly, one thing we got to do next year, we got to start giving out some candy. Okay. I had a little boy who gave me a sucker that he got, and I'm like, man, I got nothing. So we got to pull a wagon, or we got to get a police car in that thing. But we got to throw out some candy, man. The crowd was out, and I just had a blast. It was a little cold, but we had a blast, man. It was very interactive. I really enjoyed that. So we did. Then we left there, and I was just talking to Councilman Coleman. Right, we had the Police Foundation. Thanks to the officers, right? So officers can come by, board members, officers can come by, sit down, get something to eat, just talk a little bit, socialize a little bit with board members and all the work that they do. I thought that was a great event. Lieutenant Goss's kids they just had a blast, and getting just to interact with them and being there and having conversations, thanking officers. I thought that was great. And I forgot, before I went to the Hilton Parade, I went to a huge Christmas party at the Chesapeake. This is a retirement community. Man, I walked in there, Christmas trees everywhere. I got to take a picture with Mr. and Mrs. Claus, different areas where people were eating, a buffet style. I got to interact with a lot of citizens that were senior citizens, right, sitting down, just coming up and thanking us, wishing Merry Christmas. Thanks for officers for being there. What a great venue. I know Monica White has done a senior academy, Citizens Academy at that location. Just a great venue, great partnership. Donna, I just had a blast, man. I had such a good time. I got to see they have a gingerbread house contest, so I got to see first and second, third place, and on down the line. It was just really something. And I just had a blast. Wait, Joy, what is it? Some of the cars and trucks threw candy. Yeah, Joy, I know. That's my point. They're throwing candy out, and you got the chief of police walking with other chiefs in the parade. And we're not throwing candy out. So next year we got to do something. We got to up the game. I ain't talking just like a candy cane. We got to do something. We got to get a cart or something, a police car or something. We got to have some. We're going to take it to the next level next year. So, but thanks for pointing out, Joy, that other cars were, because we weren't. And I saw that, man. We got to change that next year. So so Christmas at the Chesapeake, the Hilton Parade, where we didn't have candy to throw out. Police Foundation, and then Donna, you're almost as popular as Elvis when you come. No, Donna, I'm not, but I'm telling you what, man, I had a good time. People wanted to show me their gingerbread house, and citizens were like, hey, come down, sit down, and have a meal. And the best part of being there is just having conversations. Man, it just felt at home, and like I said, I got to take a picture with Mr. and Mrs. Claus. It was just great, and kids there, and you got like this free. I mean, I'm not saying that I did. I'm not saying I did, but you could go by this area and get like a free bag of cookies, and oh my gosh, I heard they were good. I heard they were really good. Crystal, that's what I'm talking about. Next year, man, we got to turn the game up next year. So then Sunday, I caught Snickers and Kit Kat. That's great. That's what I'm talking about. Sunday, I didn't see it until the morning. We had a pretty horrific incident in Sydney, Australia. The Jewish community was attacked, and 12, 13, 15 people lost their lives, several injured by gunfire. And we're now the first day of Hanukkah, right? First night of Hanukkah, and we're lighting the menorah on Sunday night. So Jewish community does that in City Center. They attended that for the last 5 or 6 years. Great event, but there was some concern. So met with some of Eric, the leadership here at Jewish Community Center. We put a little short video together. Wanted to reassure people that police would be there. There would be a strong police presence, just as always. Have our blue lights on, the police cars there, that the Jewish community know that the partnership they have with the police department, our relationship is strong. And it was cold. I'm telling you, it was like 9 freaking degrees. And that wind blowing in that corridor, man, it was. But one of our detectives, Detective Henley, got an award. They recognized him. Our mayor was there. Congressman Bobby Scott was there. Councilman Coleman was there. It was just a strong turnout. Several citizens came up and thanked officers for being there, as did the mayor and Councilman Coleman. Rob, so I appreciate that. If you're still on, I appreciate that. But I think that meant a lot to all of us. You're right. So we were there in unity with our city, our Jewish community, and I certainly understand some of the concerns they had. We did our homework as well, partnering with our partners of state police or federal agencies to see if there were any threats whatsoever, but there wasn't, and we just had a really good event. So that was the weekend. It was long, and then we topped it off with an arrest Monday morning. But it was just a long weekend, but a fun weekend. It's a couple of events. Dr. Cherry has her event at the Fields House this week. On Saturday we'll be giving out some toys. There's some other places. Empower has theirs. I'm going to stop by up there. And then we have a vigil at Four Oaks at the Day Reporting Center on Sunday. So yeah, just some good things going on. Deborah, thanks for being here. Hello to you. Merry Christmas. Hope you're having a good holiday season. Other things I wanted to touch base on and just share with you. Tree lighting. We talked about that, right? We had a nice tree lighting event. Timber, our tree there at City Center, and then we transitioned into a concert. We had a great turnout. Traffic plan was great. Plenty of officers, firemen, city security working, interacting with the community. Mario was the headliner. Had a really good 45, 50-minute concert. I think people came out, had a really good time. A lot of work went into that, but to pull that off at that location, man, I thought it was a great event, and it worked out really, really well. So if you were able to come, great. If not, man, you missed out on a good evening. It was cold now, but I will tell you, as I go through City Center, I've seen a lot of families out, kids looking at that tree and taking pictures with it, and it's just, the holiday season is just something very, very special. Deborah, as a mom of a son who is, everyone just love each other. Yeah. Deborah, I couldn't say it better, and not just this, especially this time of year, but really every day. If people just, Kelly, I don't want to get sidetracked, but when I talked to these 3 new recruits today that we ended up offering a job to, I said the one thing I'm looking for, the most important thing I'm looking for in new officers, it kind of goes along with what Deborah said, I'm looking for people who care about other people. I can't teach that in the academy. You kind of get that from who you are. You kind of get that in your phone. You kind of get that from who you are. Your phone's going off. You kind of get that from who you are. Look, I was trying. That might have been an important phone call. Christmas gift. Um, you kind of get that from who you are, your upbringing, people that have invested in you, your faith. Um, you care about people, you're going to spend more time on an investigation. You care about people, you're going to write a better report. You care about people, you're going to listen to what's going on and what's affecting them. And I'm telling you, that is important. That is the number one thing I'm looking for. When you said love each other, man, Deborah, that's it. Diane, thank you for being here. Merry Christmas to you and your family. My son, oh wow, we are starting. Mikey's blend. We will be doing a lot in the next year. Deborah, I'm looking forward to hearing more about it. I think that's great. And proud of you. That's awesome. We talked about vape shops. We hit on that. We talked about our crime data, homicide support group. I wanted to share with you environmental officers. That's a program we have. Don Greathouse. So my friend, over 30 years in law enforcement. We had his retirement ceremony on Friday. Huge turnout. Community, officers, retirees, city officials came out and spoke. City management, just a really good event. And Don just had a heart for people. And he was part of our environmental program. It was a liaison between the police department and like works and utilities and address blight and issues with homeless, human services. And we kind of piloted that, and the city gave us positions. And in January, we will have, so we have Officer Jensen in the north, we will have Officer Buffalo in the central, and I believe they made the selection in south. I don't want to put that out if they haven't made that, but I think they have. But we'll have three environmental officers now fully. First time we've had all three at the same time. We've had one, then we had two, went back to one, and we'll have three now all together. So I'm excited about that. And it's some of the things, right? It's just kind of like that broken window theory from years ago. That was a big movement, a big phrase. But if you have a house that's abandoned and boarded up, and the grass grows and no one takes care of it, or the doors get kicked in and things happen inside that residence, and the stop sign at the corner gets hit and pushed down or up out of the ground. It's addressing blight, cleaning that stuff up, holding people accountable for that, removing trash that's in the middle of the street, and then again working with our homeless, making connections with our Four Oaks Center, with our human services, and building that partnership. And my goal is to just give the precinct captains the tools they need, right, to affect the area that they're responsible for, from their street teams to their investigators, to the officers, to the environmental side of the house, to the traffic side of the house, through K-9, that they have all the tools they need to address some of the issues that come up in their precinct. So I'm really, really excited about that. And we talked about young adult police commissioners. Got to hear from two of them that were on today. A couple of them were on this afternoon. We still stay in contact with several who go on to college and come back and check in. And it's funny, Deborah, you just talked about volunteer. Well, we do have an elaborate volunteer program. Whether you're at the Citizens Academy or the CPAAA, that's kind of the alumni. They're having their Christmas gathering tonight as we speak. But I'll try to stop by there when I leave here. But Monica and Anna Whalen, they kind of coordinate the volunteers, and there's a lot of ways to volunteer. So if that's something you want to do, if you drop us a number that we can reach out to you, I'll make sure that happens. But it's great. I mean, citizens who volunteer their time, I just think that's, again, part of the partnership and relationship that we have. So we'd love to have you take part in that. Keith, good evening, Chief. Have a Merry Christmas. Keith, same to you, my friend. I hope all is well up there. Deborah, you can just send us your number, and I'll call you. Or if you want to call the police department about volunteer, they'll get you in contact with either my office or Anna Whalen or Monica White. But if you direct message us and put in a number, we'll reach out to you this evening or first thing tomorrow. Keith, I appreciate you being here, my friend. You have a great partnership. Hope you're doing well in that part in your city. Things are going well for us here. Making a lot of headway. We've had a really good year. I'm not spiking the ball. We still got a lot of work to do, but we just had a really, really good year, and I just want to finish strong, right? I want to get through Christmas, celebrate. I want to have a good New Year's, and then a great kickoff to January 2026. So I am excited about that. Deborah, I see your email. We can do that. That's perfect. Thank you, Kelly, for that. So we talked about the Chesapeake, the holiday events, tree lighting, the vape shop, some of the things we've had going on there. Um, I know this week I'll be attending the fire. Several of us will be attending the fire department graduation up at Woodside High School. I look forward to that. Again, we talked about Dr. Cherry's event in the Southeast community at the Fields House. There's some other Empowerment also has a toy giveaway up north. We'll be stopping by there on Saturday, and then we have a vigil that we will be attending on Sunday. Carrie, hi Chief Drew. We appreciate our police department and the job you all do to keep us safe. Have a blessed Christmas, Carrie. That means the world to me. That means more than anything I could put on my wall. That is the goal, right? That we look out for one another, and we have these interactions, and we build these partnerships and relationships. And I think that's just something that sets our city apart and elevates us to make this a city to raise a family, to work, live, play. The partnerships we have with schools, I talked about it earlier, the Commonwealth Attorney's Office, the fire department, the police department, our mayor, city council, city leadership, city administration. I had a conversation with Assistant City Manager today. I've talked to Mr. Archer over the weekend. All of those things just play a role in what we're trying to do and make things better. Deborah says, everyone, please have a blessed evening and do it on purpose. Deborah, wow, that's pretty powerful. Kelly, I might use that. That's pretty powerful. Do it on purpose. Deborah, I will tell you, and everyone here, really, I would love to have you guys come out, watch our Facebook page. We'll see a lot of updates there, but I would love to invite everyone who's listening tonight to come to our Academy graduation, to fill that audience, to fill that location with, so those new officers know how much you support them as they get ready to start a career of service. And that for officers that are already sworn and doing the job, for them to see that support. I would love to invite you. We'll be having our graduation at Calvary Chapel this year in the northern part of the city, 10 a.m. Just watch the Facebook. It's either on January 22nd or January 23rd. I'm really, really excited. This is a great class. I'm looking forward to seeing them graduate. Oh, look at there. Newport News Police Department. 39 graduations, January 233. January 23rd. Yep, there it is. And it's at 10 a.m. at Calvary Chapel. I just really want to invite our city leadership, elected officials in our community. Like I said, I'm going to go to the fire department's graduation Woodside High School this week, and certainly want to invite all of you to come see those new recruits graduate. Our graduation for the recruit class in this department is something I hope it makes a strong impression. It is really amazing from youth that we have. And I should say, those young adult police commissioners, and Samaya has done it numerous times, but those young adult police commissioners, high school students, they are the guest speakers at graduation. Memorial services, award ceremonies, national night out. There's always a high school student speaking. And I don't know that you'll see that anywhere else in the country. A teenager making remarks at a police recruit graduation. That is powerful. We have had the Warwick High School Choir come in and sing. We have something special. I was talking to Kelly today about a video that we'll show. It's just a great event. And I want this city to embrace this department, and I want the members of this department to embrace this city, especially Samaya Wrights, especially our youth. So I just want to invite everyone there. Merry Christmas, Chief. Drive safely and success in the new year. And I saw someone talked about mental illness as well. So that's a great point. Like I said, you never know what individuals are facing or going through. People struggle with certain challenges, mental illness. I think that's important. Great point to bring that up. And it does matter. It absolutely does matter. Is it Miss Ramos? Thank you, Chief Drew.
We got all those. I just
Scroll back a minute. Let me see Miss Ramos a minute. I don't remember seeing that one. Thank you, Chief, for all that you do. Okay. Yeah, so, and Kelly, thanks for putting the date on there, too. That's great. The location is perfect. So as we wind down tonight, I just ask each of you to be safe. Like several talked about here, be good to one another, look out for one another. It's a holiday season. Kids are out of schools. Please be careful. Road conditions, kids out playing. But I just want to wish everyone a very, very happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas. We'll do this again in January, so a Happy New Year to everyone. When we do this again, Kelly, it's going to be 2026. It's going to be 2026, right? I just got to, I just really, really appreciate what this community does. I got to, and I should share, I shared it in my last, I got to meet Miss Jefferson. She was somebody that I was really looking forward to sit down and meet. I got to spend a little bit of time with her at Thanksgiving. And man, what a great family. And I really, really enjoyed the day. You have a phenomenal family. And thank you so much for allowing me to meet you and spend some time with you. It was just really, really great. So again, wishing all of you, are you getting Mountain Dew for Christmas? Deborah, yeah, it's never far away. And the best is when citizens will text me and say, Chief, they're on sale at Food Lion. That's where I go. It's fantastic. So I'm going to get out of the way here. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Look out for one another. Thanks for spending a little bit of time with me. And I appreciate the officers, sworn and civilian both, and our citizens and our community holistically that make our city better. Thank you for what you all do day in and day out. God bless.